पलकों पर हम सबको पाले, जीवन नैया को है संभाले। पलकों पर हम सबको पाले, जीवन नैया को है संभाले। ले पतवार हाथों में बाबा, ले पतवार हाथों में बाबा, मंजिल तक ले जाता है। वो मेरा बाबा है, वो मेरा बाबा है, वो मेरा बाबा है, वो मेरा बाबा है।
Here is Levia Mei from Studio Haifa. It's my first time to do an interview in English. It's not my mother language. So I'm a little excited, stressed, but I took the courage to do it anyway. And what is it going to be? We'll see. Let's see what is coming out of it. So, hello everyone, and welcome to our Zoom meeting this afternoon, dedicated to the practical daily necessity to gain peace in peaceless situations. In a fast world full of stimuli, hectic world, many of us are searching for an island of calm, a way to better understand ourselves and our place in the world, and to find true inner peace. Brahma Kumaris offers an ancient yet everlasting philosophy based on self-knowledge, Raja Yoga meditation, and an understanding of the true nature of the soul. This afternoon, we will dive together into the core principles of the Brahma Kumaris, understanding how it can provide us tools for coping with daily challenges, especially now in a state of war to our country. So make yourself comfortable on a short journey into the world of the Brahma Kumaris. Today, we'll speak to Sharona Stillerman, who has been practicing meditation with the Brahma Kumaris for 42 years and is currently the director of the Brahma Kumaris here in Israel. So Sharona, pleased to meet you on the Zoom and other occasions, of course.
Yes, Levia, I can't tell you how much I really enjoy you and this beautiful session. You know, it's amazing because you say it's your courage which allows you to take this up in English, and I really admire that courage. I think that courage is basically one of the most important virtues these days.
It's like an engine motor that keeps you ahead.
Good on you. You're a wonderful model.
Thank you. So, you know the Brahma Kumaris for 42 years. What was before that? I don't know, the tip, it's called, how do you say, taglit, discovery. How was your life before your discovery of the Brahma Kumaris?
I think it was typical of a lot of people's, either at that time or maybe even now. I had everything. I had a good family. I had good upbringing, siblings, good education, hobbies, degrees. But I knew that something was missing. I could not put my finger on it, but despite everything, I was not happy. And I looked around me, and it seemed like other people were happy. And I really knew that either something was very wrong with me or there was something to discover and there could be some change for me. That's how it was before.
So I gathered you searched and you discovered it by accident. You have been to a tour with the university, French University of Paris,
Yeah.
to India.
Yeah.
How was it?
I was living in France, and it was not the university, but an organization that was dedicated to helping developing countries. And there was a tour in India against nuclear power, actually. And I was part of that tour, and we lectured in different universities. And I just fell in love with India. I had moved from the United States, which is where I'm from, to Europe because I wanted to experience different cultures. And I traveled a lot in Europe while I was living in France in order to find that core and foundation for true happiness. I never went as far as India, but I thought, why not? And in India, I discovered in the people's eyes, even the shoe shine boy who jumped onto the train and earned money by shining the shoes of the people in the train. Such happiness in the eyes. And I decided then that I would come back someday alone to India to discover what was that happiness, because our lecture tour didn't allow for any other kind of activities.
You saw an edit in a restaurant. What was it?
Ah, yes. I came back to France and I promised myself I would do something Indian-like before life could take me back to India. And very close to where I was living, I saw an ad for Brahma Kumaris Raja Yoga. And so I thought, okay, I'll do that. I'll do Raja Yoga meditation, actually. And I called them. I said, what's meditation? And they invited me to come, and that was the start.
It's so clear today. Nobody thinks that it was unknown.
Right, right.
So you went to India and then to London.
Yeah.
What was London for you?
Well, I started the course in France, and I really enjoyed it because it's a school. It works with 7 concepts, and I love these concepts. In the concepts, I'm a big believer in education. My profession before I retired was teaching. So I was a big believer in education, and this was a spiritual school, and the 7 concepts really attracted me. I felt like I was getting all the pieces of a larger picture, which I was missing. But I was not having any experiences in meditation. And everyone else around me was. Experience of that inner self and that inner world beyond the mind, which they say carries the experiences of peace and happiness and love. I wasn't experiencing any of that. So they kept saying, the teachers in France were saying, go to London. That's our headquarters in the West. And there you have very senior yogis. You're surely going to have experiences there. So I did go to London, and I did have such a major experience of God, actually.
So can you give us any example of a principle, one of those of 7 principles of the school in London?
Yeah, not the principles, but the course. These are 7 concepts. I did the course in France, but I had my first experiences in London. And one example is the whole shift in understanding who am I. When we look in the mirror, we think that this mirror is reflecting back who I am. I am this size, I am this color skin, I am these blue eyes, this nationality, this religion. But if you really think about a best friend, and you would be asked to describe that best friend, you would not describe her in terms of her eye color, size, or religion. You would talk about her qualities. And so I began to understand, this is the first concept, that I am not this body, and I am not the personality that has grown while being inside this body. I am the spirit, I am the soul, and the original primary energies of the spirit, the soul, are divine. They are the energies of peace and love and joy. These are all spiritual energies, and I, the spirit, I, the soul, am made of those. And the whole idea in meditation is you go inwards, connect with that innermost self, and swim in that peace and love, joy, even power. So that's the first concept. Who am I? And it's the understanding and experience of being an eternal entity, which leaves one body when the body gets old, but the soul itself just gets more and more experienced. It never dies. It never gets old.
Fantastic. And a very tough question, difficult question. You told me that you were searching for truth, for happiness. How Luke feels happiness?
That's a beautiful question, Levia.
Because people don't know.
Yeah.
They have a Mercedes, they think they're happy.
Yeah. First of all, this natural happiness, this true happiness, you can know you're touching it because it does not grow or get less because of anything external. It's permanent. It's like there, and it becomes more and more a foundation. And so people like me, people don't like me. People praise me, people insult me. That happiness, less and less, goes away, and more is there, no matter what. Situations are good, situations are not good. That energy of happiness, more and more, is coming from that innermost self back into my here and now everyday self. So it's not like I'm going around laughing or I'm going around with a big smile on my face, but that energy of joy is there. Just like, we're always breathing, whether someone says something or not, or there are situations or not, because breathing is the necessity of this body, and it carries on automatically. When we begin to connect with that innermost energy, which carries the frequencies of joy, and we nurture that, and that begins to come forward into our everyday personality, then it's automatic. It's a necessity, and it's part of my way of just looking at life. Specifically, it means I become, you ask what it looks like, I become less and less needy on people to give me happiness and situations. and the same for all material external things. Overall, I become less needy, which means I'm more and more able to be a giver, which is something that also brings happiness.
Wonderful. It sounds like a big courage to not take under consideration, step by step, of other people, of
Yeah.
circumstances.
But you know, it's less courage in my experience and more a kind of natural, automatic thing that you become aware of, that this person did not remember my birthday. This person did not bring me a birthday gift. I'm not affected because that happiness is something energetically feeding me from within. So that's what it looks like, and that's what it feels like, although the courage does come up, you know, in different arenas. And basically, it's the courage to have faith in these positive, constructive, good energies. Because a lot of times our faith is, he insulted me. I have to do something. I have to show my respect for myself. I have to get angry. I have to get pushy. I have to get stubborn. So it's the courage to test out and give a chance once again to peace, the things of love, which is respect and acceptance, once again, because maybe we drop those over time and experiences which maybe taught us that you have more results if you get angry.
So I understand that if people insult you or say something that doesn't make you very photogenic, you leave them to themselves.
I respect their journey. I allow them to be whoever they are. And here again is courage and faith. Of course, there's limits. If somebody's doing something which is very harmful to themselves or to the relationship, I'm going to say something, of course. But to be able to say something with the right energies, essentially, the most right energy is,
With great respect.
I don't need them to change for my well-being. I need them to change for their well-being. That creates space, an allowance and respect, etc.
So you are looking at the crisis from afar.
I'm looking at it from a larger picture. And this larger picture, I think, is very, very important these days, because in the larger picture, what we can see is that according to the world clock, we are in a time of extremes. At this point, it's extreme crises. But in the larger picture, where we're way in an extreme, the only way to go is this way. When you're in an extreme, there's no step further other than going back, heading into the journey of the opposite extreme. Now, what brought us to this extreme? What will move us in the direction of the opposite extreme? It's energy, and thought and feelings is the most powerful energy. So as much as I can work with the energies of peace, respect, happiness, love, that much I'm part of a group that's going to be moving the whole clock of the world over to its opposite extreme. And I must say, when I first understood this belongs to one of our 7 concepts. It's the concept of the world clock. What time are we in now in the journey of humanity. When I first heard this, I didn't buy it because we've got 8 billion people and everyone's stressed and the energy is fearful and negative and all these things. But we don't need 8.5 billion people to understand these things and do this work, which will allow natural, original energies of peace and love to come back into our life. We just need a critical mass. That's a small number. So every effort I make, a little bit of practice is needed to go in, connect to those divine energies. Little practice is needed to put those into my personality traits instead of my old patterns and programmings. Anytime I make that effort, I'm part of that critical mass to move things, to create the shift. And that is very empowering.
It's a mental sport.
It starts with thought. If you scratch any feeling deep enough, you find its origin is a thought. Maybe I didn't think it for years, and the pattern has now been just this emotion as soon as I see or hear something. But if we can learn to give our mind genuine alternative energies to think, then our feelings change. If our feelings change, our attitude will change. If our attitude changes, the words we speak, the behavior will change. And then we are working with the most powerful equation in the universe, which is the law of karma. As we sow, so we shall reap. And if I am sowing seeds with such powerful energy inside, then tomorrow is going to be different, not just for myself, but as I was saying, according to the larger picture, we move the world clock back into a new day.
So we are close to finish the interview, and what you recommend to the newcomer to the Brahma Kumaris? How do you come? How do you join the Brahma Kumaris?
We have 5 centers around the country. All of our classes are without charge, by donation only. And I would say sign up for the course and take these 7 concepts. They are life-changing and very self-empowering.
And I'm very curious, how looks your day life?
My day. I
Yeah.
start as a Raj yogi, my day starts with yoga, which is basically meditation going one step further. Meditation is putting beautiful thoughts in my mind, the thoughts which belong to the larger picture. From there, I go into yoga, which is experiencing the beautiful divine self and that connection with the Supreme. And then there's class. We study together worldwide, the same versions. And then I do my day, which is a chance to practice what I understand and experience about the larger picture. And then 7 to 7:30 again is sit down meditation or yoga worldwide for world peace. At night before I go to bed, I just check my day. How many old programmings and conditionings have I confronted with something new, the true self? And then I go to bed.
You have a household to take?
I live in our main center, which is in Kiryat Ono, but we have centers all around the country. And so it's a big house, and yes,
I
there's
saw it. It's a marvelous house. And would you like to say another thing before I thank you?
Just to say that we here in Israel definitely understand the word enemy, and we understand the word war and battle, possibly more than most countries on the planet. And it's very disheartening, the war and the enemy that we can know externally. But as I was saying earlier, according to the world clock and the times we are in the larger picture of it all, we can understand that another battle and another enemy is happening inside, in the field of the mind. Don't allow disheartenment, discouragement, negativity to win this battle, because inside us, this is the battle going on. Should I allow, accept, respect? Should I be patient? Should I work with faith, all the while setting borders? Or should I get angry? Should I show who's who and what's what? Become aware, understand the power of goodness and the importance of goodness, starting in myself right now. No matter the extremes we've gone to, you will be a happier, more peaceful person. So will your relationships, your family, and ultimately, which is our aim, the world.
Thank you, Sharona. I experienced that. I saw it in practical life.
That's wonderful.
For 10 years or 7 years.
You're the best advertisement.
Thank you very much. So, Sharona, I could not thank you enough for your fascinating words.
Thank you, Levia. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. We hope many people will join the Brahma Kumaris, this journey, and they will be willing to saw themselves, the inner self.
That's right. Join this army according to the world clock.
Another army.
Yes, it's another army.
More peaceful army.
Fully peaceful.
Thank you very much and all the best. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.